Hey guys, Miss Rupa here, and welcome to the classroom. Today, we are going to be talking more about the ocean zones. So yesterday, we learned about two ocean zones. We learned about the sunlight zone at the top that receives a good bit of sunlight and plant life is able to grow, which brings in a lot of well-known animals, ocean animals to the tip top. And next is the twilight zone, and we get less and less sunlight in this zone. So animals have to have special adaptations that help them survive and help them bring in food. So let's put our hands up. We started at the top with the sunlight zone. We're going down. We went down to the twilight zone. Now let's go down one more, and that is actually known as the midnight zone, okay? Now, sunlight can no longer penetrate the waters at this point. So what does that mean? It is extremely dark. So that leaves the midnight zone at absolute darkness, okay? In this zone, animals have to be able to adapt and have to be able to find food in different ways because food is very, very scarce, okay? So let's think back to a very famous Disney Pixar movie, Finding Nemo. There is a scene where Dory and Nemo are in the midnight zone, okay? And they see a little bitty light kind of bouncing and dancing around in the water, but that light isn't something very friendly. It turns out that it's an anglerfish, okay? Now, anglerfish actually thrive in this zone. This is where you're going to start finding them. So this is our example for fish that are in the midnight zone. They rely on that bioluminescent light organism to catch prey. So this is an appendage. The bioluminescent is an appendage at the very tip top of its head. It comes out of its forehead. And with this light at the end, they are able to bring in other organisms that kind of hypnotizes them, and then they are able to easily eat them. So for the anglerfish, their bioluminescent light is actually known as a lure, so kind of like a fishing lure. It kind of puts it out, that light is on, and the prey kind of is stunned by this light, and it comes in, and the anglerfish is able to quickly eat them. There are over 250 species of anglerfish, so I thought that was really cool and something you might know because of that movie, okay? So going down even further from the midnight zone, you get into the abyssal zone, and guys, you're getting darker and darker, and you're getting deeper and deeper, if that is even possible, okay? Now, the abyssal zone, you are getting into freezing waters. It is near freezing. There is extreme pressure. There are no green plants in this area, but animals still live here, okay, and have even formed thriving ecosystems where they can live. They're able to eat, so they are able to survive in these conditions, which is so cool. A couple of different examples of fish that can thrive in the abyssal zone. There's one called the tripod fish. How cool does this guy look? I mean, come on. So he's also called a stilt walker fish, so he's walking on stilts, and he uses these three elongated structures to walk on the seabed. So he has adapted to these near freezing temperatures, lack of food sources, and is able to just thrive in this zone. How cool is this guy? Tripod fish, okay? The next one I want to talk about is the gulper eel. All right, so the gulper eel is super strange looking. He has a huge pelican-like jaw and uses bioluminescence. You will be hearing that word over and over. So he uses bioluminescence to catch prey. And at this one, he uses the end of his tail glows pink. So the bioluminescent organism is at the end of his tail, glows pink, attracts that prey, and he's able to open those huge pelican-like jaws. It looks a little scary to me. And he's able to eat that food. So tripod fish, that's an example of an abyssal zone fish, and the gulper eel. so cool how these guys have adapted to these harsh conditions, okay? So, sunlight, twilight, midnight, abyssal, and now the very last zone I want to mention for today is called the Hadal Zone. And this is actually the deepest known part of the ocean. Remember from our first video that we have not explored the entire ocean. We don't know. There might be a deeper part of the ocean, okay? But the deepest known part is called the Hadal Zone, and it is largely comprised of deep trenches, okay? And in a separate video, I'm going to talk more about the Hadal Zone and about those trenches and how they kind of formed. But for now, a point that I would like to make is that Mount Everest, which is a very, very large mountain range here on Earth, could fit inside one of these trenches and there would still be room to spare. So that's really deep. That's extremely deep and such a cool fact to think about, okay? So I hope that you guys will stay tuned because we are going to have another lesson just on the Hadal Zone and about the trenches that you will find in this super deep part of the ocean. So now you guys know all the oceanic zones. So let's start from the top. We have sunlight, twilight, midnight, abyssal, and Hadal Zone at the very, very bottom. Okay, like I said, stay tuned for the next video. Like, subscribe, and share to Learning with Miss Rupa to get updates on when our lessons are posted.